I think we're going to spend the majority of this video looking very haggard with weird lighting and strange angles because we just can't. You want authentic? I'll give you authentic. Good morning. We're feeling a little haggard. Haven't been sleeping very well. Tomorrow is nerve ablation day. And we'll go into some of that later. Mostly right now, I just want it over with and done so I know how it's actually going to be, you know, how much, yeah. We'll get into it. I feel like it'd be good just to kind of like talk about real quick what this procedure even is and how we even got here. So the short version is, and if you watched any videos on my channel before, a couple years ago, I just had just a dumb, nasty fall and broke my hip, sustained injuries throughout my left leg. And then up until a few months ago, we didn't realize that I actually have a bulge in my L4, L5 that is pinching a nerve, which is causing the ridiculous pain that I've been in every day for over 2 years. The nerve that's pinching is the one that has basically the same nerve path that they would just kind of expect from having all of the body trauma in the leg and in the hip. So it took that long to even investigate whether or not I had anything wrong with my back because it looked like that should just be the way it is. But then after, you know, a year and a half, creeping up on 2 years, my primary care provider decided that it was probably a good idea to just go ahead and just check in with a specialist, even though I had had an EMG. Like, they had tested to see if I had any kind of nerve issue. But the problem with the EMG is that it only tests like the bigger things. So it ended up being, I guess, that this particular thing would not show up on an EMG. So even though I had one last year, it was kind of written off. And what they ended up doing was just recommending a lot of going to therapy and dealing with anxiety, and all of those things were great. I highly benefited from all of them. It just didn't really do anything for my pain. I will say though that things like meditation, yoga, a lot of those mindfulness things, those actually really did help me cope with it. And I do feel like it wasn't quite as intense, I guess, would be the way I would describe it, by doing those things. I guess I'm just kind of sharing that specifically because if you are having an issue and things aren't making sense, like it was so random that this lined up, that this specific nerve ended up being something that could have easily been misinterpreted for something else. And it was for a long time. So if you are going through something like that, I'm sorry. It's really hard to advocate for yourself when you are in pain and when you are going through a lot. But there's any way to dig just a little bit deeper and really ask and really like kind of push for additional possibilities for treatment, for investigating what else could be wrong. I mean, I fell in that camp and they found something that they didn't think that they would. So, anyway, we're going off on a tangent. So basically the nerve ablation process is they go in with a microscopic needle and they basically burn the nerve. They just kill it. So the recovery time, a lot of the recovery and a lot of the outcome seem to vary some, but the rate of success seems to be pretty good. There's just quite a bit of pain that can come with it afterwards. They say sometimes it feels like a sunburn, and so you kind of get a lot of those sensations. And a lot of those sensations, though, are you're basically feeling your nerve die. I'm really uncomfortable. Anyway, they had to do these test injections to make sure that they were hitting the correct nerve. And ever since then, ever since just having like that whole area kind of being messed with, I've noticed just like more pain in my back. Like it's been tight, but the pain in my leg has just kind of overshadowed it. Whereas now it's just a lot more noticeable, and it's just become really comfortable to sleep. Full just spikes in pain in the evening. So yeah, so we're feeling kind of haggard. I think today I'm going to take a shower, clean up a little bit, finish my laundry. I want to have like nice clean sheets and everything when I get back. I was able to get in for a massage today, which is like, yeah, let's get to it. Oh, that's way better. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some skincare. That's the other thing too. It's like, it has been just the temperature dropped, it being, you know, winter basically. And my skin is just like, oh God. My skin is just so dry and chapped and irritated. Like my face feels puffy, you know that feeling? So that's been fun. I'm really ready to have the procedure done, be on the other side of that, just so that I can heal up and so that I can just kind of figure out my body from there, because it's going to be different, you know? This whole time I've had to be really careful about the exercises that I do. Things like squats, for example, hurt. Like I just get these like jolts of like pain and like electricity like all throughout my thigh, and it's like shooting and stabbing and like crazy. It's crazy pain. So it's been really difficult doing that movement pattern. So that's going to be a thing that I need to deal with, as well as I know that there are a lot of compensations, a lot of muscles that are kind of out of whack. The way I walk is still, I can tell that I need to get it into a better place so that I'm not experiencing as much, you know, just pain in my joints as well. So there are a lot of things that I'm going to need to figure out, but I'm so happy that I get the opportunity to do it, that I have the access and to care and treatment. So in no way am I complaining about that at all. I think it's more just trying to not feel like it's gonna be like, I'm trying not to feel like it's gonna be daunting, you know? And daunting I feel like is a pretty strong word, but it just seems like it's gonna be like like another long haul in like a long list of long hauls, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's been 2 years isn't that long, but it feels like an eternity. Like I feel like it's been like a decade. I don't know. Anyway, if you're going through something like that, if you're just going through it right now, I feel you. You are not alone. It can be so frustrating to experience these setbacks and feel like it's just constant, you know? The ablation isn't a setback itself, but just having to regroup, I guess, that just constant feeling like it's just constant of figuring out my body, and then things are like changing again, and they change quickly. So then you're having to like constantly recalibrating, I guess is like the better way to say it. And it's just exhausting. Every time I've had to deal with this, I kind of always come back to reminding myself that I get to do it. I don't have to. I have the chance to be curious about how I can kind of change things and think about things like fitness or lifestyle. Think about these things in like different ways. Get to explore under a different set of parameters, you know? With every obstacle, I need to kind of shift the way that I think about how I'm approaching things. And I get to explore things that I haven't actually done before. There's something really amazing about it, actually. Being injured is a trip because it sucks and it's hard and it hurts, and there are all these procedures and tests and just struggling through day-to-day life. But it's really kind of opened my mind and my eyes to how I can kind of approach things differently and how I can allow myself some grace. I remember, like, for so long I would just muscle through programs or muscle through learning different types of movement, and I enjoy it so much more now because I'm not hustling, I'm not pushing so hard. I'm enjoying it more, and I'm getting more out of it mentally too. And fitness has always been like a thing that has made me feel good. It's always been a thing that helped me cope with life. just that outlet. It's always felt like an outlet. But this is definitely hitting, it's just hitting so differently. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for being able to explore in this way. It wasn't nearly as cool as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna go psh and just like spin right off. It didn't work. I want to stay grateful and thankful, and I want to keep staying curious and not let it get me down. It's more just, I think it's just the anxiety of just not knowing what's gonna happen, really. Here's to new adventures, and I'll be letting you know how it goes. Well, thanks for hanging out with me on this messy day. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sleep deprived, I'm anxious. I'm just trying to get my life together. So cheers to that. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, this was just a total mess, but I wanted to kind of document it and kind of share it. And if you're going through it, you're not alone. We'll just kind of keep sharing things together. But anyway,